Thank you, love. Playing the album in the background here. First of all, Christopher, shall I call you Christopher or Chris?
Whichever you like. I respond to both, so that's fine.
I respond to lots of things. Right. First of all, I want to take you. I'll let you tell everybody, for the people who haven't heard the music yet, how would you describe the music of Little Villains?
Heavy metal, bit of classic rock in there, a little bit of a punky influence, a kind of hybrid of those three things.
It is, yeah, it is. It's like a smorgasbord of all the things, all the musical styles that people of our generation have been exposed to, I guess, and you've kind of molded them all in together. The band itself was formed in 2006, I believe.
It might have been slightly before that. It was formed by James and Phil, Philthy Animal Taylor, and they met by chance in a queue in a hardware store, basically. Well, it was an electronics store. Sorry, yeah. And James he was returning a faulty DVD player, so he was up the front giving the cashier grief, trying to get his money back. And he said when he was standing up there, he kept seeing this mass of hair kept popping out the queue and looking at him because he was getting all irate in his English accent. And when he was walking back, Phil stood out in front of him and said, "You look like a musician." And he was like, "Yeah." "You know who I am?" And James was like, "Yeah, I know you are." And then somehow, after they were chatting, they just agreed to meet up and form a band.
And Little Villains was
complete chance. Yeah, Little Villains was born. Yeah, absolutely.
It was sort of born as well out of the kind of nucleus, if you like, of Airbus, which I believe Philthy was really quite enamored with.
Yeah, well, James and I both play in Airbus. We still release records with that band as well. And actually, a couple of the songs off of Battle of Britain are old Airbus tunes. So Spitfire and Watching You and Words of Insanity, those three tunes are very old Airbus tunes. And yeah, he quite liked the music, from what James said. He used to play him stuff in the kitchen. And some of the stuff they recorded together are Airbus tunes because, when they started jamming, they needed some songs to jam. So there's a couple of Airbus tunes on those records that Phil was playing on.
It has that kind of raw rock and roll that we associate Philthy with. Dare I say speed metal, but I know Lemmy would hate me for saying that. But it's also there's more of a melodic sound to the stuff that comes from Little Villains. Was this something that Philthy was very, very into? Because I believe him and Lemmy had all sorts of slanging matches over the years because he took the piss out of him because he liked the softer side of rock, shall we say?
Yeah, I think he did. From what I had a chat with Helen, who's Phil's sister, and she's been very supportive of Little Villains. And she said that they used to take the piss out of each other quite a lot about their musical differences, shall we say, different musical tastes. And yeah, he had quite a wide-ranging set of tastes, from what I understand. I mean, I only ever met him a couple of times, so I never really got to talk to him about that kind of thing. James would probably have a better idea of it, but yeah, from what Helen said, he liked different music, and I think the way Motorhead went, it kind of evolved into what it was. But he also enjoyed playing other styles of music, and I guess working with James allowed him to do that a bit.
Yeah, I think drummers and bassists do that sometimes. I mean, guitarists, we tend to get our heads in the sand a little bit, and whereas I think drummers, if it's got a good beat and it's something that you can recognize as good music, I think drummers are a little more open-minded perhaps than us string pluckers.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, some of the guitarists I work with like playing lots of different styles as well. You know, I play in a 70s tribute band and we do all sorts of stuff from the 70s and a bit of disco in there. And I quite enjoy those types of beat because people dance to it, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, as a band, we've all got fairly eclectic tastes, I suppose. And maybe that's why it's got a more, I don't know, eclectic mix in there with the villain songs.
Yeah, there's been two previous LPs before Battle of Britain, hasn't there? There was the original sort of project, if you like, that started the whole thing, Philthy Lies, and then Taylor made. But now it's a different lineup, isn't it? Because you've now got Owen, haven't you? Owen Childs on guitar, and so
it's been there's actually three previous albums before this one. So the first one was Philthy Lies, like you said, and that had Owen Street playing bass on it, who James and I knew from other bands he played in when we were doing Airbus tours. I think that's how we first met, was when we played together at a show in Bristol. And then Alan Davey from Hawkwind got involved with Taylor Made because he was obviously a big fan and he knew Lemmy very well. So that was really nice for that record. And he had the contacts with Cleopatra Records, who put that one out. Then we did Acton Minon, and that was with Owen Childs, who is James's nephew. So he's a fair bit younger than James and I. And then we've done the Battle of Britain. We actually recorded those two records at one recording session just before COVID. So we did a 3-week session and just banged out loads of stuff and got 2 records out of it. So we've got a rough and ready approach. We don't procrastinate too much. We just lob them down and kind of go with what's got the vibe. So yeah, it's a fun way of working. I enjoy it personally. It means you get it done.
It's spontaneous and it's rock and roll at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Why Battle of Britain? Why the title? I mean, I know there's a couple of songs in which are airplane names, you know, Messerschmitt and Spitfire. Was that why you called the album Battle of Britain?
Yeah, and because James's family have got for one, James is very interested in World War II, kind of like Lemmy was. And when he met him, they were talking about all the different planes and stuff, and partly because his family have got a background in aviation. So James's dad worked for Airbus, and he designed the piece of metal that holds the wings on a Boeing 747, and he's worked on Concorde and lots of other planes.
Wow.
And he was very well known in the industry, and he was the one that got us to call the other band Airbus. He was like, that'd be a good name for a band, boys. You should call it Airbus. So there's that side of it. And then Paul, who is James's brother, rebuilds old planes. And so does Simon, who is Owen's brother, Paul's son, James's other nephew. Sorry, it's a big family, so this gets really confusing. But they fly like old planes, and they've got a hangar down in Western Zoyland with tons of old stuff and an airfield, and Simon flies. And you know, so there's a lot of aviation history within the family, and that's why it's called Battle of Britain, really. I think we got a couple of reviews where people were expecting a concept album, and it was never intended to be a concept album. It just felt like the right thing to call it, you know. So
and there's at the moment, given the state of Blighty at the moment, I suppose you could say it's, some people might even say it's political. The battle for Britain, yeah.
Yeah.
How, as you said that it was very much seat of your pants style recording. Was that really nerve-wracking for you, or was it just like, yeah, let's just go for it. Let's just heads down and let's just record this?
Yeah, no, I love that way of recording. I can't stand procrastinating. I find if you spend too long on a song trying to get it absolutely perfect, you lose the life from it.
Absolutely.
So we've kind of got a 3-take method. You do up to 3 takes and then pick the best one. And some of them, like Messerschmitt on that record, is just a 1 take. We just did it, and it was like, yeah, that's good enough. And I don't know, I like that rough and ready rock and roll approach. It's, you know, okay, maybe the playing isn't perfect on all of it, but it's got a vibe.
And that's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. There's
There's
a lot of very clinical music out there nowadays, particularly in Europe, because they love that kind of thing. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. But I don't know, I just prefer it to be a bit more sounding like AC/DC or the Stranglers or early Maiden records, you know, where
absolutely, yeah,
you can tell they're really passionate about it, and Motorhead, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Filthy's DNA is still all over it. You can still get that feeling somewhere. Filthy's spirit was there and saying, you know, swing that a little bit more, make that a bit looser, drive this a bit harder. Did you feel? Did you feel him there sometimes and thinking?
It sounds. Yeah, I think we did. It sounds silly because I'm not a particularly spiritual person, but yeah, I always feel like his watchful eye is like, you bastards. He's watching what we're doing.
Are there any sort of studio outtakes or masters lying around from the early days of Little Villains with Filthy that one day might surface?
Yeah, there could be some more stuff with Phil on. James found a couple of old reels.
Great.
And we have got some stuff that needs finishing off, but we thought we'd found it all, and he's found a bit more. So there may be some more in the future.
I look forward to hearing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to hear him playing on different stuff. He's got such a distinct sound, and as a drummer, I was always a big fan of his. You know, you can tell when it's him playing the drums, and it's not like that with everyone, is it?
What? Who else inspires you? Who floats Chris's boat music wise?
Phil Rudd from I'm talking drummers here, but Phil Rudd from AC/DC. I think he's very underrated as a drummer. He's a core part of their sound, and in my opinion, they have the greatest rhythm section that have ever walked onto a stage, which was Malcolm Young, Cliff Williams, and Phil Rudd. That's why AC/DC is such a good band.
Absolutely.
They've got the iconic frontman, they've got Angus, and then they've got this rhythm section from hell. They're just brilliant. So AC/DC, I love Iron Maiden, I love Motorhead. If you go outside, I love all the classic stuff, Queen, Zeppelin, Deep Purple, all that kind of stuff from that era. Showing my age there. But I also like other stuff. Like as a drummer, I really rate Joe Morello, and he played with Dave Brubeck. It's a totally different style of drumming, but he was just phenomenal. He can do stuff with one hand that I can't do with two. And he's like, how on earth are you doing that? He was so good. So, and I like all sorts, like the Stones, the Beatles. It's from that era. I tend to be drawn to that era. I guess it's an age thing, isn't it? You know what you grew up with.
Absolutely, yeah. We all have those songs in our memory, don't we? That we can call upon when we need to. And you can't help sometimes. You're putting something down, and you think, shit, I've heard somebody else has done this.
Yeah, absolutely. You get it with guitar riffs. It's like, that sounds really familiar. And then you're
that's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll just steal it. Nobody notices.
Exactly. No one knows. Apart from computers nowadays, they pick up on it, don't they?
Yeah. They are the ill of music, in my opinion. But it just kills rock and roll. Are you? I mean, I know with you guys sort of split between here and America. Are any hopes of any live shows, particularly in Britain, at all?
Yeah, I mean, we were planning to do something at the end of this year, but we've left it to short notice to get it booked up, basically. So we will do something next year. We're just trying to sort out when, and we will do the UK as part of it.
Fantastic.
We usually go over to Europe, so we start in the UK and do a couple of shows, go over there, and then come back and do a couple more when we get back. So we're planning to do that again. We just got to plan it all out, because obviously Brexit's messed up the going over the borders kind of stuff, and they've just introduced the carnet system back in again, which is it basically costs musicians a load of money to get over there. So we're working on ways around that, which we won't discuss.
No, fair point.
But yeah, we should be all right.
Well, if you get tempted to come to the Midlands, Wolverhampton will make you very welcome, and we'd love to see you.
Absolutely, I love playing up that way.
Oh,
I used to play in Birmingham a lot, so yeah.
Please do, because we'd love to see you.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been really great talking to you, Christopher, and it's been an absolute blast. We wish you all the best with Battle of Britain. It is a fantastic album. It's just good old-fashioned rock and roll, and we love it to bits.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, bye-bye, and take care of yourself.
You too. Thanks very much, Carrie.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.